Good morning, guys. If you guys have watched a previous video about Cars of Malaysia, and yeah, because myself, Con, Kung Fu, we have collectively tested more than 500 cars over the past 1 year. Cars that are on sale. Yeah, collectively. Every variant, you know, every model. We've tested all of them. Even certain cars that hasn't been launched in Malaysia yet. We flew to overseas country, because the thing is this: three of us, we came from. Of course, I'm handling Evo, right? I was the editor of Evo, and Con was the editor of Car List, and Kung Fu, he was the editor of Top Gear magazine, but the Chinese edition. Okay, so given that all three of us were from relatively well-known titles, you can arguably say top 5 in Malaysia. So we put together all this, and then we list out every single car on sale in Malaysia. So this is very, very different from any other car of the year, where they have a preliminary nomination. I see. When you nominate or you select certain finalists first, then only you go through the scoring system. Inevitably, there will be instances whereby I have a prejudice against a certain brand of cars, right? Say for example, cars from China, right? We will have prejudice against them, and then we wouldn't even put them through the scoring process. We would just not select them as a finalist. But what we attempt to do this round is to, after we design a rather comprehensive scoring system mechanism, we put every single car on sale through the scoring mechanism. But the difference is that they all do not come from the exact same how do I put this? We group the cars into their respective categories first, and the scoring system will be applied respective to that category. Say for example, an MPV that scored 10 in handling, which is a full score in handling, doesn't mean that 10 equals to a supercar category handling. I think that is very logical, right? So if you say there is a very well-known scoring system, which is the Doug score, the Doug score, he puts every single car through the exact same way of scoring. So in his eyes, say for example, an Aston Martin that scored 6 in handling, and then another car which is probably a 3 Series probably only scored 4, which to me doesn't really reflect what that car is within its own segment. So our whole the gist of this whole exercise is to sort of mimic buying behavior, consumers, you guys, consumers' car buying behavior, and the way we judge them based on price, value, handling, comfort, interior design, exterior design, practicality. All these things are the things that you will consider when you're buying a car in the objective scheme of things. Okay, we put aside the subjective scheme of things, whether you like the brand or not, right? So by putting that in, and then we scored all these cars, and then what happened? Unlike most car of the year where they select one winner, which in my opinion, it doesn't really reflect consumers' buying consideration, because you guys would ask questions like, hey, is the CX-5 better, or the Tiguan, or the 3008, or the CRV? You know, we notice that there's always it always comes down to 2 or 3 that is nearest, and people are having a hard time, you know, picking. But the thing is this, I can score, and I mean, we can look at all that and then come up with, okay, the C class is the best, right? But you're someone who loves cars with great handling, and then you go into a showroom and then you find that when you test drive, oh, the C class doesn't drive as well as a 3 Series. Or on the other hand, you love how the C class looks. Its interior is beautiful, way prettier than Audi's or 3 Series interior. And then on the other hand, you have the Audi A4 with an interior that is so well built that the 3 Series, the current 3 Series and the C class, their interior look like toys next to Audi's. So when we look at that, we're like, does it matter if one car scored 73.49 and then the other car, after we calculated the scores, is 72.35? You know, a difference of 0.12 or 0.13. It is irrelevant. So when we look at that, we're like, okay, let's not be mathematical about it. Okay, every category, after the scoring process was applied in a fair and just manner to all of them, we pick out the top 3 scoring ones, and those are the winner of the category. Buying any one of them, you're not doing anything wrong at all. So that is, you see, most car of the years, they give out one winner, one award to car makers. Contrary to popular belief, most of them were created with the car maker in mind. They want to give them an award. They want to give an award to the car makers. We will, but that's not our goal. Our goal is to tell you which 3 is the best in that segment. That's it. We are not so bothered about car makers feeling that another car, which of course subjectively they would felt their product is superior, and then they might feel not that nice that another car maker's car is also selected as the winner of that category. They themselves feel they want an outright win, which we couldn't be bothered, because it's really for consumers. This is for consumers. This is for you guys, and that's why we went through the process of doing it. And I urge you all to go to Roda Pusing's channel or Roda Pusing's Facebook to find their announcement of their own car of the year as well. And at the same time, Autobuzz.my, they have a website, and they are big in YouTube. You can check out their car of the year as well. I will put the links down in this video, the links to their car of the year selection. So what happened is this, all 3 of us decided that this is the best way to score cars and figure out which 3 is the best of that segment. So we do our own scoring, they do their own scoring. They might have a different scoring that came out, we would have a different one, and you all just reference each other, because the categories are exactly the same. We have the exact same category. So we start from city cars. What are city cars? City cars in Europe might mean really, really tiny cars. In Japan might mean really, really tiny cars. But our terminology for city cars is the kind of car where you just wanted, it's not a family car, certainly not as a family car yet, right? But it is the core essentials of no frills. Basically, the most affordable options out there, small, you know, A to B, very A to B like, So that is the core objective of having a city car category. And after the city car category, we have cars like super minis. What are super minis? Super minis in Europe are cars like Ford Fiesta, Polos, the Polo hatchback, the Mazda 2, the Peugeot 208. These cars are tiny. They can be as tiny as city cars, right? But their proposition is very different. People who buy them are very different. They buy them because they wanted something small, great handling, looks great, very lifestyle. So they want these cars that make them feel great as well. Cars that drive really well. Yeah, so this category is called Super Mini. We believe people who buy cars of this category are looking for something very different from people who buy a regular B segment sedan, right? If you put a Honda City next to a Peugeot 208 or a Mazda 2 hatchback, there are no comparison. There's no comparison. The City is more spacious. It's just big. It's just huge. But why are there people who still buy Mazda 2s, Peugeot 208s and all that? They wanted something different. They want something with great handling, and for them, utility is not the biggest concern that they have. So this is the way we think. We try to mimic your buying behavior. I think we have a very good understanding, because I'm in this line for 10 years, Con as well, Kung Fu for about 13 years, 12 or 13 years. Roda Pusing's Hisham and Al-Bakri, they were longer in this line than us. Autobuzz, GCMA is newer. I think they started in 2013 or something. Anyway, we get bombarded with car buying questions day in and out. So we always give car buying advice. I think my personal either Facebook PM or whatever, or emails that I reply, or YouTube comments, or YouTube inboxes and all that, all sorts of channel, I think per day I'm giving out buying advices of easily 20 to 30 people per day, and then I get them replying as well. Oh, I finally bought my car. And these questions don't just come from Malaysia, it came from everywhere. So I get a very good understanding of things. For example, in Europe, if you stay in the city, you may be staying here, but where you stay has no places at all for you to park your car. There are no garages near where you stay. So you have to rent a garage further away from where you stay to park your car. And usually those places are rather tight, right? So I understand that, wow, so people in Europe, they actually stay at one place and they have to either take the subway or buses, or they cycle to another location where their cars are parked. Then only they get to use their car. And then the question that I got from that person was that, hey Bobby, I'm currently driving a Macan. I'm really looking at the new Cayenne. I love it, and I need to know what are the differences in dimension and all that, and whether the Cayenne would fit into his garage, things like that. So it's rather interesting. So anyway, sorry for this long video. It's Cars of Malaysia is out. I'll put the link to ours. I will put the link to Autobuzz's. I will put the link to Roda Pusing's. It is very exciting because 3 of the most active, I would say, local automotive media wise, regardless of the subscriber number, per month views on our YouTube channel about car buying, about car reviews and all that. I think 3 of us are the highest locally, and yeah, so it's interesting to see their scoring on their selection after their scoring, because we score everybody, and see ours and how it compares, and then Autobuzz's as well and how it compares. Alright, so yeah, cheers, happy car buying and happy car fixing.